Well, hey guys, Jonathan Dorr with you once again. Thanks so much, as always, for stopping by to check out the Catholic Teacher Daily Message. A little bit of encouragement and inspiration for all of you incredible Catholic teachers out there throughout the world, making a very genuine difference in the lives of young people, advancing the mission of the church, winning souls for Christ, all in a day's work for you guys. So what I do is just remind you each day of how special what you are doing really is. Now, do me a favor, as always, please make sure you've subscribed. If you like these videos, if you like the podcast, if you're listening on the podcast version, then please subscribe. And it would be a huge help if you could share this with some other teachers. That would be a huge blessing. There is a link down below, or on the podcast as well. You'll find a link to free 10-week access to the Going Deeper Catholic Teacher Formation Program. It's something that Karen and I built a couple of years ago. It's grown really successfully, and it's just a beautiful way to develop in your faith as a Catholic teacher. So please make sure you hit that link and grab yourself free access to the Going Deeper resource. Now, today we're going to go into a really beautiful quote about why the church does what it does, why the Catholic school does what it does, how it's different to other, let's just say, nefarious organizations throughout history that have a very different agenda. Let's talk about what's different about us. Let's jump into this quote. Let's do it. The church opens herself to the world, not in order to win people for an institution with its own claims to power, but in order to lead them to themselves by leading them to Him, of whom each person can say, with St. Augustine, "He is closer to me than I am to myself." If you are not familiar with Robert Cardinal Sarah, he's one of the greats. He's just recently retired, which is such a tragedy. I hope he's going to do a lot of writing and stuff. His books are extraordinary. The Day is Now Far Spent is one of them. He's written a beautiful book about silence. These are really profound books. He's a very, very holy and spiritual man, and I can't recommend his stuff to you enough. This quote today reminds us kind of the essential mission of the Catholic Church, and then, of course, the essential mission of Catholic education is going to be deeply embedded in that same mission, which is what? It's to open ourselves to the world with the message of Jesus Christ, not, as Cardinal Sarah says, to win power for an institution. Now, I know the more cynical of us can look throughout history, and at times with great justification, to look at times when the church has involved itself a little bit too much, sometimes perhaps way too much in temporal power. But I often like to say that it's when the church is looking the same as the culture around it, that's when we are least effective. So the church and Catholic education are truly prophetic, right? They're different to the systems of the world. If you look at the systems of the world power, organizational power, it's often about the accumulation and the consolidation of power. Where the church at her best and Catholic education at her best is about opening to the world and giving the only thing that we really have. You know, yes, we have nice buildings. Yes, we have nice art. We've got some great music. We've got beautiful liturgies. All these things are important, but they all serve the one end, don't they? Which is to communicate truth, beauty, and goodness to the world. But that's done through a person, through the person of Jesus Christ. So what Cardinal Sarah is telling us today, my friend, is that the nature of Catholic education is to open to the world and to bring people over time to a realization where we can say, in the same way that St. Augustine did, that Christ is closer to me than I am to myself. So the journey of Catholic education and helping young people encounter Christ is this journey of helping them to encounter the indwelling presence of Jesus Christ placed there at baptism. And I know some of you have students who haven't been baptized, which is not an unusual thing in some schools these days. So there's still a beautiful opportunity there to open to them the mysteries of faith and bring them into a relationship with Christ that may lead to baptism. So friends, simple meditation today, that we are not involved in the accumulation of power. And many of you will go, yeah, I know that, because our schools and our churches at the moment can often be in a challenging place in terms of culture. So let's just trust that we're meant to be different. Let's just trust that we're meant to be prophetic. Let's just trust that all we need to do is gradually, over time, open ourselves to the world. And what is the world? The world is your classroom. That's your world. Not many of you watching this video, and not me, are going to be invited to speak at the United Nations General Assembly. Could happen, but it's probably unlikely. It's unlikely that we're going to be given the highest places of influence and power in the world. But at the moment, teaching world history to my kids, when you see the way that first century Christianity began to influence the Roman Empire, it wasn't done because they were holding massive positions of cultural power. It was done because they were saints. It was done because they had encountered the risen Christ and knew him personally. It was because they had the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. So if those elements could overpower the greatest empire in history to that point, then we can have confidence. Not hubris, not arrogance, but we can have quiet confidence that he's faithful, he's desperate for us to be his instruments, he's hungry for us to be his hands and feet in the world. So God bless you for what you're doing. Know that you are part of something very unique, special, precious. That's it. Nothing more. We're not, I can't stop, can I? I always keep going. Just look at our political world at the moment. It's just this obsession with utopianism and power, isn't it? It's like, the reason we haven't got it right is because we elected the wrong person last time. We're going to elect this person this time and they're going to fix everything. Well, how's that working for us so far, friends? You vote one person in, they're terrible. You bring the next one in, they're worse. Who knows? I don't be cynical about it, but I think we place way too much hope in our political systems. I really do. I think the transformation of our hearts, the transformation of our classrooms, maybe it's the work that you're doing that will shape a future political leader in a different way. We can only pray and trust, right? So, be encouraged. Be encouraged in what you're doing. Please make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching. Hit that link to grab yourself free access to the Going Deeper program. And I just love doing this. God bless you for what you're doing every single day. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Catholic Teacher Daily Message, and I'm going to have another one for you tomorrow.